Executive Director, Pat Frew. The weather is turning cooler, but the pace of economic development in Covington remains nice and toasty. Remember, the CBC provides access to opportunity and growth, and we'll hear a little more in a short while on growth as Covington Economic Development Director Tom West gives his growth report. We'll also hear about one of the men behind one of the most exciting, newest developments in one of our most underserved neighborhoods with great potential, which is Latonia. That coming up in a few moments. First of all, we want to thank our sponsors today, our title sponsor, St. Elizabeth Healthcare. On Tuesday this week, St. Elizabeth Healthcare's hospitals at Covington, Edgewood, and Grant County were designated by the American Nurses Credentialing Center for magnet designation, and that's the 4th consecutive time. No other healthcare system in the greater Cincinnati region has had this many back-to-back designations. Magnet is the highest standard recognition for nursing excellence, which puts St. Elizabeth in an elite status nationally. This is a true testament of St. Elizabeth's commitment to bringing comprehensive and compassionate patient care to our region. Don't forget, next month in October, St. Elizabeth's Cancer Center will open with the vision of reducing our area's cancer rate and making Northern Kentucky one of the healthiest communities in America. Also, AT&T is our luncheon sponsor today. Regional Director of External and Legislative Affairs, Holly Spade, will speak to us more about the work of AT&T around the state and in Northern Kentucky in a few moments. Thanks again, Holly, for sponsoring today's program. Also, a quick shout out to our CBC board members today. You know who you are. We couldn't do an inkling of our work without your support and direction to our staff. A couple of announcements today. We are very excited about the rescheduled CBC annual golf scramble at Twin Oaks, which is next Tuesday, September 22nd. We're sold out for golfers and have started a waiting list. And we really want to thank a bunch, Richard Dickman and Smoke Justice, our title sponsor. Many thanks also to the Globe, Charter Communications, Munninghoff Lang, Cincinnati Bell, Payroll Partners, Fort Bank, Waltz Business Solutions, Greater Comfort Heating and Air, Sea Forward, and St. Elizabeth. It should be a great day. The weather forecast is great. We'll have some great pictures to show you next week. Our next social is 5 to 7 p.m. at Old Kentucky Bourbon Bar in Mainstrasse. That will be a week from today, the 24th. We will be limiting attendance to keep with the governor's orders of 10 or less. Actually, that is not true because we'll be outside. We can actually accommodate a few more. So I wasn't supposed to tell you any of that stuff. So sorry, Christine, too late. This event will be outside, but you do need to register on the CBC site. So please do that. CBC Connects is virtually every Wednesday morning. And I don't mean virtually in almost every morning. I mean, it's virtual as in we're virtual right now. Every week, every Wednesday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. as small businesses and nonprofits network and share their stories of success. It's all about helping out one another to grow in spite of these challenging times we're in. I hope you'll join us next Wednesday. Just talk to Christine and connect with her so she can get you added to the coordinates to get on that call. The CBC Covington City Commission Candidate Forum will be virtual this year, airing on TBNK on Thursday evening, October 1st at 8 p.m. Stay tuned for the exact channels. We will also live stream this tape program as well at the same time. So we are going to tape this so that, you know, if we have any issues with connectivity or whatever, we can clean all that stuff up. So mark your calendar, Thursday evening, October 1st at 8 p.m., the Covington City Commission Candidate Forum. So that handles all of our announcements today. As I said earlier, AT&T is sponsoring our program today. So I want to hand things off to Holly Spade to take us to the next part of the program. Holly, welcome. Thanks again for your support. What's happening with AT&T?
Thanks, Pat. Really happy to be with you all. It's always good to see some faces, and I appreciate what Covington Business Council does to help us connect to the community, and this is just a good opportunity for us to do that. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail, but just say that during COVID, the best news we've had is that our network has held up well, and we've been there for folks who needed us. Importantly, our FirstNet solution, which is for first responders, has held up well. That has been more important than ever during these COVID times. So generally things are working, and we hope that you're getting to be connected from wherever you are with your provider. I also get the opportunity, luckily today, to introduce Tom West. Tom and I have known each other. We worked together in state government when I was at Economic Development, and at that time he was with Kentucky Workforce Investment Board. So I know Tom knows what he's doing. The City of Covington has seen about $500 million in investment in its downtown and neighboring business districts in the past 8 years, and Tom West has had a lot to do with that. He, as economic developer and director for the city, starting in late 2017. Earlier in his career, he served as executive director of both Covington Business Council and Kentucky Workforce Investment Board, as I mentioned. Most recently, West had worked for the Thomas P. Miller and Associates, a national economic development consulting firm based in Indianapolis. While there, he took an economic development role advising cities in the redevelopment of their downtown areas. Tom is known for his strong relationship-oriented management style and collaborative nature in working with groups like the CBC and other community partners. And I can certainly testify to that. He was always collaborative and helpful when I've worked with him at the state level. So thanks, Tom, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks, Holly. Is this thing on? I have my mask on again today, just as a reminder to everybody to please help us keep our businesses open. I don't know what to say about that introduction. We need to have Holly on more often, because usually in person, Pat would just hand me the microphone and say, you got 2 minutes, speed it up. But I do have a few things I want to talk about today. With regard to the mask and keeping our businesses open, you all probably heard the governor has now expanded the curfew hours for bars and restaurants. But please be aware that the state has also shut down one Latonia business for violating the rules. It's not a good look for them. It's not a good look for Covington. And it certainly doesn't help the other bars and restaurants that are following the rules and doing everything they can to stay open. So enough of that lecture. Today, Pat asked me to really kind of focus on Latonia, what's been going on there in terms of investment and development, and what the city's been doing there. But before I get into that, I've got some amazing news to share with you guys. I've been teasing this topic for over a year now, but this coming Tuesday night, September 22nd at 6 o'clock, the Covington Board of Commissioners is going to hold a special legislative meeting. That's normally their caucus night. And they're doing that so they can adopt the new neighborhood development code. That neighborhood development code is going to replace the city's entire zoning code. And it's going to combine the Board of Adjustments, which is kind of our Board of Zoning Appeals, with the Urban Design Review Board, all into one board, one meeting a month. You only have to go through one meeting process to get both a certificate of appropriateness and your zoning permit if you're required for one of those meetings. That's going to cut a lot of red tape and cut out a lot of delays for folks. So really only the policy wonks out there really can appreciate how big a news this is, but the rest of you will get to know how big that is the next time you need a permit for something. So now on to Latonia. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but it was an independent city until 1909. That's when Covington annexed it. And believe it or not, we still have people say, I don't live in Covington, I live in Latonia. So unless you're 112 years old, please stop saying that, because Latonia is one of the coolest parts of Covington. The downtown area, which was built up even before it was annexed, is now known as Riddy's Corner. And that area, that business district, has seen a lot of changes over the decades. Most significantly, its neighbor to the south used to be the Latonia Racetrack. And then back in the middle of the 20th century, that was replaced by a suburban strip shopping center. And over the years, that we've all seen kind of fell on hard times. And we even saw the abandonment of its largest stores. But recently, the Ritty's Corner area has seen a lot of investment and revitalization. And this year, we're also seeing a bright new future envisioned for the large part of the shopping center where the big boxes were. And in a few minutes, Kurt Reynolds is going to talk about that investment that his company and another is making, and the new good jobs that ReGadget and Blair Technologies are bringing. But I want to first just do a quick rundown of some of the other things that you may or may not have heard about. Some are big, some are little, but they all make a difference going on in Latonia in the last year or so. Rumpke has announced they're moving their Northern Kentucky headquarters to Latonia. They're purchasing the city's public works campus. They're going to rebuild and modernize the transfer station, redo the public works building, and they're bringing 50 new good jobs. Bike staples have been put in front of a lot of the small businesses, along with the DeVue Good Foundation. That gives people transportation alternatives to visit their favorite businesses. We expanded our small business program to include all of Latonia, not just Ritty's Corner, and businesses like Alterations and More, Head to Toe Salon, Davon Auto, the Funshine Child Care Center, Custom Woodworking Unlimited, Half and Half Antiques, and more have all benefited from that expansion. And several have also taken advantage of our emergency rent and mortgage program for COVID relief. We created new zones for food trucks near the sports complex and at Ritty's Corner. And we've been publicizing and helping raise funds for the new Vietnam War Memorial. And then lastly, I'll say that the city has invested over $1 million in about the past year and a half to improve the infrastructure in Latonia, like the repaving and reconstruction of Latonia Avenue, the Caroline Avenue underpass, and what's going on right now, the rebuilding of Barb Cook Park. But it's really the private investment that we're leveraging that's bringing so much success and energy to Latonia at this time. So I want to ask Kurt Reynolds to take over the discussion and have him tell the story of his company's work. Kurt is the founder of ReGadget and also serves as Chief Financial Officer of Blair Technology Group. Both technology companies are at the center of the $7 million Latonia Plaza project, and he will tell you about their name for that and their vision. Kurt's a very accomplished young professional. He and his business partner, Andy Blair, who I think is also on here today, are both very familiar with Latonia, having both attended Holy Cross a few years back. He's here today to share their vision for the adaptive reuse of 2 big box stores in the shopping center, and how they want to transform this very car-centric asphalt ocean, I'll call it, into something a lot greener and more sustainable. I'm just very, very proud that the city could play a small role in helping them get there. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Kurt.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for the introduction. Sorry that we are doing it through Zoom and not getting to see everyone in person, but you know, we've joined the CBC and are happy and looking forward to getting to know everyone once the luncheons pick back up and getting to learn about everyone else's businesses, as well as, you know, teach you about our background and things for us. I'm going to be talking about Blair Technology Group, ReGadget, and then CovTech. So you can learn about our businesses and then the move for CovTech in the Value City building. A little bit about us. So Andy and myself, we're both local guys. Andy grew up in Taylor Mill. He actually went to Scott High School in not Holy Cross, but he met his wife Laura in Covington. She worked at the Dairy Crest in Latonia, and that's how they met. And they have 4 kids, 2 of which are at St. Cecilia, and 2 are at Covington Latin. So he's down in Covington quite a bit outside of work and with his children. I have two children myself. Bella is 3 and Sutton is 8 months old. I'm from Independence, but spent a lot of time in Covington, especially when I was younger. My mom has taught at Holy Cross for over 30 years, and I went to Holy Cross. So I went from kindergarten through high school. So I spent a lot of time in Covington when I was a kid. So I remember going and playing soccer at FOPA, buying a bed at Value City Furniture. So Covington, it has a special place for both of us, and to be able to keep moving our businesses forward in Covington is definitely something that we're excited and hoping to keep giving back to the city and the people in Covington. So Blair Technology Group is our main big company that's been in Covington. So it started in 2005. So Blair Technology Group is we refurbish computers. So in our industry, we call it renewed. If someone hears refurbished or used, they have some bad connotations with that. So we call it renewed computers. And what we do is we bring in computers. We will wipe the hard drives. We completely erase the data. We will take them and then start to change the specs. And in most cases, the specs are being upgraded, the RAM and hard drives upgraded. It gets fully tested through diagnostics. We will add a Windows license, 10 Pro, 10 Home, completely clean it. If there's dents or dings, we will fix it. And then we put a vinyl skin on, put it in a professionally packaged box. It comes with a full warranty, paperwork to help you, like when you get it to start it. A lot of people, might not know how to use a computer or how to plug them in, unfortunately. So it helps you walk through all of that. So when you get it, even though it's a renewed computer, it looks brand new. You wouldn't notice a difference. The only difference is that it's a few years older and isn't brand new. So it started back in 2005. Andy was working for a computer company, a mom and pop store, and sales were kind of slow. And he, this was early 2000s, so there wasn't the giant Amazon, Walmart, eBays that it is now. But he had the foresight to see the future, so he could see that, with the mom and pop, you're selling to the local community. But if you jump on eBay, back then it was just coming up, you could now sell to the entire nation, and things could go a lot faster. So he had asked them if he could sell on eBay, and they said yes. And he had turned the entire floor in 2 weeks, which was completely unheard of for them. And he got in his mind that he could do this in himself and didn't need anything else. So luckily his wife Laura is a saint and let him start the company in his basement. So in 2005, he bought a skid of computers with a credit card. I'm pretty sure it was his mom's credit card, but she let him do it. He bought a skid of computers, fixed them in his basement, packaged them, and sold them on eBay, and it worked. So he took that and hired 2 people, and they were working out of the basement. The first move for Blair Technology was out of the basement into the garage. So they'd outgrown the basement, moved to the garage. FedEx is there every day picking it up. I'm sure it was a sight to behold back then for sure. But it started, sales picking up. So they moved Blair Technology Group from his house to a building and into another building out in Florence. And then by 2013, the company had grown out of their building in Florence. So when Andy was looking, he had always targeted wanting to move to Covington. There's a lot of benefits being close to the expressway, the job pool in Covington, centrally located for Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. So he always wanted to move to Covington, and Johnny's Toys was available. So it was very enticing, and he wanted to move there because it was big enough. So there wasn't going to be a short-term, issue of space. So he could move in and the company could continue to grow because it was such a big space. It would bring him to Covington, and then he could create a storefront out of there, which was always a goal, and it had the castle. So in 2013, the company moved to Johnny's Toys in Covington. Subsequently, in 2018, we purchased the building, so we now own it and have been there for 7 years, and it's going great. At the same time, in 2013, when we moved the company to Johnny's, we also became a Microsoft authorized refurbisher. So in our industry, that's about as high of a accomplishment as you can get. It got Andy in the Wall Street Journal. It created this partnership with Microsoft that we still use today. And what it is when you resell a computer, you have to put on the Windows license. So whether it's 10 Home or 10 Pro. So we actually have the partnership with Microsoft that can buy those directly from Microsoft as well as resell them. In the US, there's only 15, Mars is what it's called, and they actually rank them. So in 2018, we were recognized as the biggest Microsoft authorized refurbisher in the USA for the first time, and have since stayed there. And we're the second MAR in the world. So to put in perspective of how close we were to being the biggest partner in the world, out of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of licenses that we sell in a year, we lost the biggest in the world by 200 licenses. That is half a day's production is how close we were to being the biggest in the world for their partner. And with our year this year that we're having, we're hoping that we can take that jump and take over our the number one in the world. And that would be an awesome accomplishment for a company that just started out in a basement to now be the Microsoft's biggest partner. Other than Microsoft, so we have partnerships with Amazon and Walmart, which we sell on. We also sell on Newegg and Sears and Staples and a bunch of other websites like that. But Amazon and Walmart take our, the bulk of our partnership there. So on Amazon, if you go and search renewed computers, odds are you're going to see Blair Technology up top and find our computers on there. So we sell, we sell more than anyone on there, and are a good partner for Amazon. That they've even flown us out to Amazon to help them work on their website. So the renewed category is still relatively new for them, and they rely on our expertise to try and guide the category forward. So they take our opinions and keep fixing things on their own website because of what we tell them, and are relying on us. Same with Walmart. We're a top seller for Walmart as well. And they're not as quite as big as Amazon still, but they rely on us to help them a lot while they're creating their websites. So in e-com takes the bulk of our sales, but we also do B2B sales and work sales in other ways. So part of, our business, we do have the storefront. So we're the e-com B2B, and then we open the store. So Tech Castle was when we moved down, Andy always had the foresight of wanting to put a storefront out there and help the local community. Unfortunately, it took 4 years to open up the store because we knew when it opened and what we were going to do with the castle and Johnny's Toys. Everyone that had gone to the toy store when they were a kid would want to see the castle again. So we wanted to make sure it was right before we opened it up. And that thought process actually worked out for us. The first month when Tech Castle opened in 2017, we had 40,000 people sign up for the castle. So a great marketing ploy to get people into the site, into the store, but we also needed to be ready. The news was there, and there was so much excitement. We needed to make sure it was going to look good. So now that the people have seen the castle in the years after that, they're realizing that it's not just a computer store, but a little tech center. It's a micro center for people who want to talk computers or electronics. We've got guys down there that can talk to them. If you break a computer or your watch or something, or just want to upgrade it, you can come down there and talk to the guys and get to nerd out with them. We also have the gaming machines down there that you can come and play the video games on a computer. In the store, we're actually in the process of working out a gaming room that's going to be in the store. So if you want to come in and play the PC games, because it's such a new phenomenon that people are doing all over the country and the world, you can come in the future and play games there with friends and things like that. So with the gaming that's coming up, we actually created our own gaming brand that we produce, manufacture everything ourselves, called Perifio. So these are gaming machines, but it's more of an intro to gaming machine. So gaming, in the US is such a popular place now. They have the World Series of Gaming where a kid won, millions of dollars last year. They've got guys like Ninja on Instagram that have millions and millions of followers. It's it's not just Xbox and PlayStation anymore. PC gaming is such a new upcoming piece. So we have jumped on and are creating a space that no one else is in. So if you were to buy a gaming machine, a brand new gaming machine is $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 and up. But there is no gaming machine for beginners who don't really want to spend that much. So we created a brand called Perifio, and that's what it is. It's an intro to gaming. So the machines start around $400 to $500, and they go up to $1,000. So while $1,000 is still expensive, it's the comparative price of a new is $3,000. So it is a lot cheaper for what it is than the new. And the brand, which started in 2018, really took off last year. So it was the #1 new item on Amazon last December, and is growing. So people are getting to know it. The brand is becoming more popular. We have our website, perifio.com, which is selling them, and it's really going well. So these, even though they're intro to gaming, it's meant for a parent to buy for their kid who doesn't know that they're going to keep playing it, or a person who wants to make sure that they're into the PC gaming before they buy a new. And they still look really good. They're colorful. You can see through them. There's multiple different options you can do. They light up. They're a full-on gaming machine. And we're continually improving them to offer more options for people. And that's really a part of our business that's growing quickly. And there's big plans for them with Value City building that I'll touch on later. But in Tech Castle, we show a lot of Perifio machines for the gaming stuff. So with Blair, we're such a great e-com seller, and a lot of people buy our machines, but we're rounding out our company. So we're over 200 employees now. It's a great place to work. We've been top places to work in the Cincinnati Enquirer magazine for 6 years in a row now, usually around the top 15 area. So we're constantly looking on ways that we're gonna, keep growing the business. And so now 2 of our ventures that we're starting is a service arm of the company as well as an ITAD arm. So for the service, we can do deployment for companies. We can license things. We can actually go in and start and hook up the computers. So we're trying to be, a one-stop shop for everyone. That if you want to buy computers, you can send it to us. We can put asset tags on them. We can put the licenses on them. We can come in and get them started for you. As well as being the backside of the life cycle for the ITAD, which stands for IT Asset Disposition. So if you refresh your computers every 3 to 5 years, you need someone that's going to take it out. And, we would be a great partner for that, because we're not going to recycle anything. We want to reuse everything we can. So we can come in, get your products, take it back to our place. You know it's going to be wiped and handled appropriately, and not just put in a ditch in the back of the warehouse. So, you know, so we want to, our future is to be the partner for all these companies nationwide. We already partner with a handful of local businesses, and we've got a couple of nationwide contracts that we have. So we're going to keep growing that side of our business to kind of be a one-stop shop for you know, everyone for your computer needs. And if people want to buy, you know, if businesses want to buy a renewed computer and not new, it's considerably cheaper, and you know, you get the same functionality. For most businesses, it works out just as well to use renewed than it is to buy new, because they're so powerful that they can handle whatever you're needing. So from Blair, we also have ReGadget. So in 2016, we realized there was a piece of the market that we weren't really attacking, and that was the school market. So Andy and I started ReGadget together, and we started in January of 2017. We didn't start in a basement. I don't think Andy's wife would let him do that again, and my wife surely wasn't going to let us. So we actually started with one employee in a 1,000 square foot retail space that they were nice enough to let us in to not do retail, and we started focusing on school products. So that would be Chromebooks, Apple products, Surface Pros, you know, and things like that, school-based educational laptops. So in 2017, with one person, we started producing those and, you know, doing the renewed again, following some of the steps Blair had done, selling them on e-com. And by the end of 2017, you know, we had 3 employees in the space and needed a new space. So we moved into Florence and bought a building out in Florence. And in 2018 and 19, we went from the 3 employees up to 20, and we're outgrowing the space. So we were following the trend that Blair had done, and we wanted to move to Covington with ReGadget to be closer to Blair, and you know, we get the same benefits that we've gotten from being in the Johnny's Toys building. So we were looking at spaces and couldn't really find anything. We even looked in Cincinnati and in all over Northern Kentucky, because we wanted to make sure that the next building we bought, we weren't going to outgrow in 2 years again and go through the same process. So as we were doing that, that's when we found Value City and thought it would be a perfect spot for us to put ReGadget in and move there because the space. So since the move, we've already jumped from our 20 employees. We're now at about 35 or 40 employees. So the space worked out perfectly for us that we're going into. We have, so the school focus is what we wanted, and we started out with e-com until we could grow that business. So now, especially with COVID, we're doing a lot more with schools and less on the e-com front, which was the goal for the business. So like the last 4 or 5 months, we've only sold to schools. We haven't even sold on e-com because of the big need for one-to-one learning and schools wanting to needing products for their kids. So we've gone from the from 1 school to 2. Now we're up to about 75 to 100 schools that we're partnering with, including a bunch of local schools. We partner with a handful of schools in Northern Kentucky. A new partnership for us in September was the Covington's public schools, independent schools. They had a problem that schools all over the country had. They were buying new machines, and the delay for new machines is affected a lot of schools. So there is no new machines in the market. If you had ordered some, which they did, they were prepared. They were told we'll get it by September for school, and they never came. So we're helping out a lot of schools on that end of well, you didn't get your new, but you can buy the renewed from us, get one-to-one, a lot cheaper, and move on. For Covington, Alvin and his group, they're renting them from us. So we were able to quickly turn around, get 700 machines to them for the kids that could start and learn. And once their new machines come in, they're able to just return them to us. And we feel we did a good job to help them. They get to learn and not have any delays, which also goes into the giveaway we did, which I'll mention shortly. So the business is growing, and we've got some big future plans. So we just hired a business development manager that's going to start on Monday, actually. So we want to grow the schools, from what we have to hit more schools in the country, and continue that effort to work with the schools, kind of like Blair's doing the ITAD piece with businesses. The ReGadget can do the same type of thing with schools. We're also in the process very early, so who knows what's going to happen, but we're in the process of creating our own Chromebook, our own branded machine, so we can sell our own brand as well on that side, to be new products that we can offer to schools and individuals out there to buy a new product from us. So it's a company that's growing and excited to be down in the area as well. So then CovTech. So CovTech comes about with with ReGadget looking to move. So CovTech is our the company that bought the Value City and Burlington spaces. When ReGadget was looking, the 200,000 square feet that was there was way too big for them, but we were able to see the other things we could do with it. So it was a perfect space for us because we like, and Andy drives this one all the time, we want to have, it's a manufacturing type facility, but we don't want it to look like a manufacturing facility. So if you walk into Johnny's Toys right now or into the Value City building a year from now, it doesn't look like it's a manufacturing space. It's a lot more welcoming and a brighter, nicer space to work. And we saw that potential with Value City. The building was close to us, and it was perfect for us in the city, and Schottenstein's, helping them. It took a long time to get the deal through, but it was great to work in the city. It was awesome to help us, and we were excited to move there. So for the plans for Value City, so it's kind of broken down to Value City and Burlington. So right now, ReGadget is in Value City working in a temporary space. So if you remember the way that it looked when you walked into Value City, they had all the pillars, for the staging of the couches and bedding and everything else. So when we're finished, that's all going to be gone. It's going to be empty, a big, large, empty space, and we're going to paint all the floors and clean it up, and then put glass walls all up and down the space. I was trying hard to get a picture to add to the slide for this, but we don't have it quite finished yet of how it's going to look. So if you think when you walk in, we want it to look like a mini Google. So when you walk in, that we're hoping to have a little coffee shop or something in there, it to look really techy. The glass wall, so if you walk down the aisle, you can see into it. On the right side is Perifio, so they're going to move out of Blair and into the Value City space. And then on the left side is going to be ReGadget. So when you walk in, you can see into the production. You'll be able to see the cool gaming machines and the people working on them, and it's going to look like a big tech center on that side. So the vision is really cool. So seeing it come to fruition is going to be awesome, coming out of there. On the Burlington side, so right now Blair is in the Burlington side as well in the back. In 2013, it seemed like the space at Johnny's Toys was plenty big enough. You don't have to worry about moving again. Well, now 2020 hits and Blair is outgrowing Johnny's Toys. So Burlington's a perfect spot for them to move into. We are open to renting out the back space, but as of now, Blair is taking up the entire back. And then we've got the big front space where Burlington was in. So we want to make it a tech type space, but we're open to all types of potential businesses to come in. The revitalization of the Latonia area is happening and going well. You got the Moonrise Donuts, the Bart's Burgers, places like that. So we're hoping that we can help bring another key place into the Burlington space, whether it be a big company that brings lots of jobs, or a destination place to bring people to come. My personal wish is a brewery of some kind to come there to help bring people from all over to come in there. You've got the employees working and start bringing people down there. We haven't had any luck of getting a brewery to move in there. But we're open to all kinds of options. So whether it's that or a business bringing jobs in there, we're open. We have had some calls about it. Nothing that worked and was going to work for us and them. But we're excited to bring that back so that that building's fully utilized again, and bringing people down to the area. We also have the parking lot, so we don't want it to look like a sea of asphalt. And most likely you've seen some of the pictures, but we want to make the space a green space as well. So not just a tech center, but the parking lot to have trees, the awnings to make the entrances to look great. So we're wanting to really make the place look nice. It's unfortunately we haven't been able to start the project yet. We're working hard to get it going. And we're absolutely going to get there, but it's just been a little slower go than we had anticipated. But we are still planning full on to make the parking lot look good, and to make it a green space so that it's green and tech, and really start to help make it look good and bring the space up for the local community and things like that. And so finally with CovTech, we want to be a good partner to the city, and part of that is giving back. So we just did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was our digital divide giveaway. So we gave away almost 650 computers for the first round. In another couple weeks, we're going to have the second round. So we worked with the city and Cincinnati Bell to bring the Wi-Fi and the computers. And it went really well. We've had great turnout for it. We had, a lot of thankful people getting free computers. The biggest question that people would ask is, well, when do we have to return them? And it felt good. We said, never, this is yours to keep and help on the learning side for the students. So that was really good. We were so excited to be able to bring that to the city and help the people there. So with our businesses, we want to be a good partner for everyone down there. And that was the first step for us to really give back and help out. So I think there's one more picture for a close up of the awning, but that's it. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our background in business. And as we, get going out of COVID and can meet everyone, it's going to be great to get to know everyone. And please feel free to reach out to myself or Andy. I didn't put our contact info, but I can get with Pat to send it out. We would love to get to know people and do things, to help your business if we can, and support everyone else. So thanks for listening, and looking forward to getting to meet everyone and answer any questions if you have them.
Yeah, so if you will, and great job, Kurt. And if you would submit questions in the chat section, we will get to those after my question. So Andy, one of the big juicier pieces of this beyond the technology part is what other kinds of businesses could go in the site any inklings of things, any big news you want to break today? We're glad to be the source of that. But what are the potentials of types of businesses? Maybe just service businesses outside of the technology area that could go in the plaza there.
Yeah, we're open to absolutely anything. It can be a tech company. It could be, we had some discussions with some local companies actually of doing something completely different in there. I don't think it's going to work out, but it was going to be something to help the underserved in the community, more of a learning section. I don't think that one's going to end up working out, but we were open to it, and that was going to be something exciting. It just fell through. A destination spot, some kind of like the brewery, something techie. We've considered doing a startup type place where different startups could come in and get space in there and chopping it up into smaller spaces there. So we've thrown out all kinds of ideas. It's such a large space that it has enormous potential for different things. The right thing's going to come out and hit, but almost anything can go in there.
Right. One of the great things about this and the risk that you and Andy took in moving forward with this project is, for so long, we've had great development in the Central Business District, Mainstrasse, River Center, even Roebling Point, but we haven't seen that logjam get broken in Latonia, and I think this is obviously the kind of transformational project that can cause other development to happen. That must have been also. Do you agree with that statement, and do you think that that there will be a big rush of development? And Tom mentioned some other things in his introduction to you, but some things that will continue that trend toward development in Latonia.
I do, and I sure hope so. So, we've kind of had a vision for the space and hope other people can see it too. That, you've got some, in the Riddy's Corners and stuff has things coming. And, once ours can start coming up, there's all that space in the adjoining lot next to us and in a lot of places like that. So I do think, once we get in there fully, if someone or something can jump in the Burlington space and you start seeing some traffic down there, all those other, spots that businesses can move into definitely become more appealing. And we would love to help be the catalyst to get Latonia booming again, getting all those places rented out and different places to come in and shop or do something like that.
We have a question. I think it's from a Tom Weist, might be related to Tom West. But, with all the work that you're doing with schools now, and we know how COVID has kind of hampered the situation with schools, maybe it's helped you because of, the technology takeover in schools. Does that hurt you or help you in terms of your future growth with COVID in the schools?
So COVID has definitely helped us this year. The schools all going one-to-one, and people being home, the need has grown. And it's really affected the computer industry. So there's a laptop shortage nationwide. Dell, HP, Lenovo, they're all out of new computers. You can't get them. The schools that ordered them are backlogged. They're telling some October, November, some January, February before they can get what they had ordered. So people turn to renewed computers, which really helped us. We've grown considerably with it, and it's really helping us because not only did we come in and support the schools, showed them that, hey, you don't have to buy a new computer to get what you need. You can save money, buy a renewed computer. We have warranties. We help you out in many ways. So the schools that have come to us and helped us, I would hope that they keep coming back to us even afterwards as we move out of COVID. because they see the value in us in buying a renewed computer over a new computer.
Right. I think a lot of people, I was confused by this first. Somebody asked a question about, the castle and you all moving out of the castle. Actually, Blair Technologies is remaining in the castle, right? So there isn't this big exodus from there. You'll still have that building fully engaged. Isn't that right?
Correct. So Tech Castle won't move out. We're planning more in the castle with the gaming sections and stuff. So they are absolutely going to stay in there. Blair is staying in Johnny's Toys. So it's going to be fully operational there. We just need some more space. So Perifio is going to pull out, but that's going to open some space for Blair's continued growth. And then as iPad and service and things come on, as we're outgrowing the building, instead of moving or anything else, we can then just add into Burlington in the back and stuff like that. But Tech Castle is staying where they're at with the castle, and the castle is going to keep as it is.
Right. And I know Steve Arlinghouse from the Housing Authority wanted to say thank you for all the work that and the things you've provided for kids through these computers. And it's very clear, Kurt, that you all have been very generous in the community. And, it always helps when you're from here, when you're local, because, there's that kind of immediate buy-in, but you all obviously have a very, charitable heart, and you want to give back to the community. It's very evident in what you're doing, and we sure appreciate all you're doing. And thanks again for being our guest today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. And yeah, we're excited to keep partnering and helping out the community. So awesome.
Great. Well, that is Kurt Reynolds from ReGadget, one of the two partners, along with Andy Blair, making the Latonia Plaza go, and we sure appreciate that. One of the things I want to remind you about, a lot of you know that I have a TV show on TVNK, Getting Down to Business, and I'm actually interviewing the other tandem in this partnership, Andy, and we'll be sending the link out about that interview and a little more in depth and some different things covered than what we covered today, so look out for that. So thanks again to Kurt. Thanks to our sponsors, St. Elizabeth Healthcare and AT&T. Our next virtual luncheon is scheduled for October. It's our legislative luncheon with local representatives and senators. I hope you will join us for this important event outlining what was accomplished this past year in the General Assembly and what will happen in Frankfort in 2021. Charter Communications is our sponsor. So that concludes today's program. Thank you all for attending. Have a great weekend. Bye now.